Okay. Good evening, everyone. Today is the I think of March. I don't even know what it is today. And we're talking about, no, actually, it's the 8th of March. So, lucky eight. We're going to talk a lot about skin, but we're also going to talk about commitment. We're going to talk about meetings. We're going to talk about maybe 90-day or 120-day plans, because I know a lot of you are either starting Diamond Club, have thought about starting Diamond Club. And if you're not familiar with Diamond Club, you're not familiar with that term, you're going to become familiar with it during the course of this presentation. So we've got a lot of things going on. Some of them are planned by doTERRA. The other thing that you might have heard was that last week doTERRA had a Diamond Summit in Nashville, Tennessee, actually live, one of the first live events that we've had. Actually, I think the first, large size live event that able to host since the beginning of COVID. So this is really kind of a big deal for us and for them. And talking to people like David Sterling and Emily Wright, and talking about time blocking, all the things and the skills that you need to learn if you are going to be successful in this endeavor. So I know some of you are just essential oil users, and you may be thinking, what is Elena talking about? And I don't know anything about it, but that's okay. I try to introduce some different concepts every single week, and today is no different. I know that several of you just got off a call or about to get off a call talking to your leaders about commitment, about really making a push. The importance of a push really cannot be underestimated, whether it's towards good health or maybe it's toward a team commitment, building a team or working towards a rank. I find that the people that I know that have been the most successful are the ones that have made this dedicated, concentrated effort over a relatively short period of time and have said, I'm going to do this no matter what. Well, if I have anybody new today on the call, can you please just tell me in the chat? I want to make sure I am saying hi to anybody who's new. And if you're new, tell me, how did you find out about this call? I'm going to be on for the next, say, 45 minutes or so, talking about a little bit about skin, which I think is an important subject. And when we talk about teaching classes, skin is one of those classes that you may not have to do every single day, but you may have to do from time to time. So as I look out my window right now, I am actually up on the 20th floor, I think it is. And I don't know if you can see, it's a little bright out there, but you can see there's Dallas, Texas behind me. Got a little bit of fog on the windows this morning. I think it's kind of cool out there and maybe a little bit warmer in here. If I get a better view, I'll take you around so you can see out the view. We were super lucky this time that we got a room with a view to kind of look out over Texas. So let me share my screen with you. New people, anybody new today? If you're new, please let us know. I always want to say hi to new people on the call every Monday. And it's important that we keep in contact with each other and that we're spreading the word of classes, what's available to people. And look, I know that you're all getting a little bit zoomed out. I get it. You're on Zoom meetings all day long. You're with your teams all day long. And probably most of the time, the way you're meeting is through Zoom. So that by the time Monday night rolls around, you're kind of like, oh, one more Zoom. But if you're a new person or if you're a leader and you've been here for a while, you know that one of the benefits of having a regular Zoom or maybe a leader's Zoom, and I consider this a leader Zoom, someplace where you can get on, you can ask questions. We don't open up the chat in terms of talking to one another because there's a lot of people on this call and it can get a little bit noisy, but we always have the chat open. And today I want you to feel that you can really ask me anything, especially as we talk about skin, but also as we talk about good health and we talk about business, because I really want to bring in the whole business aspect today. I think it's important. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And some of you may have seen part of this presentation before. You may have seen all of it. The importance of really talking about different topics cannot be underestimated. When we talk about whether it's skin or another more getting comfortable with topics. So like, oh, I hope you can hear me, that my internet connection is okay. If it's not, I can always move to a different part of the room. When we're talking about different topics, we want to talk about everything from, actually, I'm going to move a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit more comfortable for me. Because I have the sun right in my face. So I'm going to be slightly in shadow today. It's okay. We become comfortable with doing all different sorts of topics. We want to be able to teach a basic meeting. We want to be able to teach maybe what I'm going to call an intermediate meeting. And then you want to be able to teach a specialty meeting. So at the very least, you want to be able to teach 3 different sorts of meetings. A basic meeting would be the 10 basic oils. You have to be able to talk about those on a regular basis. And you all know what they are. They are the 5 singles and 5 blends that we get in our basic kits. Our basic kits have had different names from time to time. I'm not going to name the kits now because this presentation will sit out there for a long, long time. We want to make sure that everybody knows they just have to go to doTERRA and find one of our basic kits, especially if they are enrolling. They've been called everything from family essentials to family physicians, healthy essentials. They've kind of gone through different iterations. The idea is that you're teaching about 10 basic oils and how to use them. So that's something you must have in your repertoire. The next thing you really need in your repertoire is, I'm going to call it sort of an intermediate class. So an intermediate class could be something like emotions, really going through one of our second kits, perhaps. It could be talking about physical discomfort, and the reason and maybe immunity. Those I would call those are 3 intermediate classes. The reason I pick those 3 is because those are the 3 90-day plan kits that the company came out with at convention. So when we're talking about intermediate, we're talking about using the products, using the different types of I don't know what you want to call it, controls that the company has to be able to talk about something that's easy because we've got supports for it. You can take out that kit, you can pull out the things, you can talk about it. So immune support, basic physical discomfort, whether it's musculoskeletal or anything having to do with maybe bumps and bruises, just having a working knowledge of that intermediate teaching. And then the third would be emotions. And when we talk about emotions, we could talk about emotions kit, right? We can talk about the roll-ons, everything from forgive to cheer to motivate. We can also talk about the adaptive kit or the emotions kit, because I think those are really important. And then we can get into a more advanced topic. So today's a slightly more advanced topic. You're going to hear me talk about this. This is not new, right? You've heard about skin before. I think it's important. I'm going to talk a little bit more today about my skin routine as I'm traveling and how that's working for me. I'm sitting in bright sunlight, I have to say. My skin looks okay. It's not too bad. It's hard sometimes when you're on the road, maybe you're not drinking as much, you get on an airplane, you get sort of dried out, you're a little bit dehydrated, but it's important for you to keep working on your skin. So let's keep going. We always say, of course, thank you to our Presidential Diamond team. We know that the ideas expressed in this presentation are from the book, Essential Oils for Today, A Beginner's Guide. And I've been putting some of those things at the end of the presentation. I popped them in the beginning today because I'm trying to just change it up for us a little bit. This is a presentation, also a modified presentation that was originally posted on the back office for doTERRA. And actually now many of the presentations are not even in the back office. So if you go to doTERRA.com and you type in presentations in the search bar, you can see a whole bunch of presentations. So if you're ever stuck and you're just not sure, what should I do? Where do I get my slides from? Where does Elena get her slides from? I'm using this as a model for you because I want you to never feel like I can't do it because I don't have slides. So never feel like I can't do it because there are always presentations available. You can always get a presentation from your leader. You can get a presentation from doTERRA. You can call somebody that you know and say, hey, can you help me? Another leader, excuse me. It's a little dry here. That's why I have my water with me. I'm going to try to be stiff. The presentation. Okay. First, now when I think about skin is Yarrow Palm. And the reason I love Yarrow Palm is that it is an active botanical nutritive duo. So what does that mean? It means there's two things in it. That's what we mean when we say duo. So it has yarrow and it has pomegranate oil. The yarrow actually comes from that white fluffy plant that you see in the back. And the that's the fatty oil that's in there, is from pomegranates. So you know what a pomegranate is. It's that red fruit, and when we split it open, it has those little granular jelly-like seeds inside. And the essential oil, the fatty oil, if I'm not mistaken, is actually coming from the little tiny pit in the center of those jelly-like seeds. But it is excellent for moisturizing the skin. I like to apply it to my face at night. The other thing that I like about Yarrow Pom is it really supports immune and nervous system, and is great for the eyes. So you want to be when you're putting Yarrow Pom on your face, you're going to be putting around your eyes, sort of like sunglasses. During this trip, I've been experiencing some eye difficulty with my right eye. It started, I want to say, when I took my last trip here a couple of weeks ago. Didn't have it looked at, probably should have when I got back to New Jersey. And now I'm kind of thinking, it's time to really get this treated. In the meantime, I'm applying frankincense around my eyes. Now, remember, when we're talking about the eyes, we're always talking about around, never in, right? We're never, ever, ever dropping essential oils right into our eyes. So youthful skin, everybody wants kind of that youthful glow. They want that fresh look. That's kind of I don't know, that's the watchword now, getting that really fresh look in your skin. You can get it, I think, a couple of different ways. Number one is continuing to hydrate, super important. Yarrow Pom can actually be taken internally, yes. You could just squeeze, you can see it's got like a dropper bottle. You could squeeze a couple of droppers right into a small glass of water, or you could put it in a capsule. But Yarrow Pom, definitely one of my absolute favorites for the skin. I feel like it's very moisturizing and refreshing, and something that you want to have as part of your routine. You can see this is giving you a little bit more information about Yarrow Pom, but it does have punicic acid, which is an omega-5. And antioxidants. It's also got that B-caryophyllene and the chemazoline that just supports cellular, immune, and nervous system function, and that rejuvenation, which is what we want. Did you ever look at your skin sometimes? I know sometimes here in the US, after the winter, my skin just looks really dry, and I don't know, it needs a refreshing. So sometimes I'll make sure that I do some sort of an exfoliation with one of our products from our spa line, and then I'll apply, and I'll make sure to really apply a generous amount of the Yarrow Pom on a daily basis until my skin begins to look refreshed all over again. Now, it does say here, when consumed, can support a healthy metabolic function. The reason we're talking about metabolic function in Yarrow Pom is it seems, as we have studied it scientifically, that it is a wonderful, I'm going to call it an internal refresher. It can work on to remove antioxidants. And of course, antioxidants are the things that age us and make us feel less young and less fresh. The other thing is, when we talk about our metabolism, we want to make sure that our metabolism is staying healthy. But today we're talking about skin. So let's keep going on skin. And we're also going to talk about business and motivation. Okay. So key benefits, right? Acts as a tonic to rejuvenate the blood, boosts and eliminates toxins from the body, and can regulate blood vessel tone, allowing critical organs to function normally through enhanced circulation, metabolic function, and digestion. So it got a lot of key benefits. This is actually directly from the original convention in 2019. So this was, I think, Dr. Hill actually talking about Yarrow Pom. So don't ignore Yarrow Pom. If you haven't picked it up in a while, pick it up again. Purging, relieving, protecting, and mending. It has a lot of wonderful qualities. Okay, this is when I was talking about the chemazoline, the B-pinene, and the B-caryophyllene. So we're talking about removing free radicals from our system, from our skin, especially topically, very important. Powerful antioxidant. Want to remove any oxidants, right, inside and out. But the skin, because it's such a huge organ, right? It's one of the biggest organs that we have. And because of the remove that our skin is really operating in a healthful way. Now, some of you at this point will probably be thinking about things like skin conditions that are very drying, that can sometimes be chronic. Is this something that I could use? And I would say the answer probably is yes. But when we're talking about any sort of chronic skin conditions, we want to talk about moisturizing the skin from the neck down. Now, you've heard me say this before. This is nothing new. I've done skin presentations on and off for years. It sounds really crazy. Why do I need to moisturize my body from the neck down if I have a very dry patch on my shin or on my elbows? Because that shin or that elbow really is a breakdown of the dermis. Here's the other thing. Your skin acts as a chimney, right? So what does a chimney do? It releases the smoke into the air, but what that smoke really is it's a toxin. So when you're releasing toxins, your toxins can only come out of your body really 3 different ways, either through your breath, right? Through your nose, of course, through respiration. So I guess through your nose or mouth, right? And maybe if you're sneezing, you can also remove toxins through your digestive system, whether it's urine or feces, and then finally through your skin. So you really only got 3 ways: respiratory, skin, and digestion. That's kind of tricky. So if one of those ways are blocked, what's going to happen? Your toxins are going to come out of your body in a different way. And that's kind of a, wait, what? How could that be? Well, yeah, the toxins have to be removed from your body one way or the other. And if they can't come out one way, so if you are a person who has, let's say, I don't know, chronic digestive issues, and maybe you're not eliminating on a regular basis, you may begin to see skin issues because the toxins need to come out of your body, folks. So let's keep moving on skin, but I'm going to leave you with that thought for a minute. Okay, here's your pomegranate seed oil with your prunictic acid, and your conjugated linoleic acid provides metabolic support. There's those jelly-like seeds that we talked about before. And then finally, a high concentration of conjugated fatty acids typically consumed in meats and dairy products with potent nutritive benefits. The other thing we have is our body renewal serum. So you use this all over your body. It really smells delicious. I use sometimes the 2 of them. They're not exactly interchangeable because you cannot ingest the body renewal system, but you can apply both over your skin to get that really luscious, fresh looking skin. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Your cellular complex dietary supplements. This is a wonderful additional product you can use to remove oxidants for your body. Now, I don't take this on a daily basis. I take it periodically. Frequently, what I'll do is I'll buy a container of the Yarrow capsules. I'll take them for a month, 30 days or so. There's 60 in the container, and then I'll let it go for a while. But from time to time, it's one of those booster supplements that I like to have available to me, and I'd like to take them on a regular basis. Okay. Let's talk about essential oils in the skin. Of course, they're natural, safe. They can have soothing and cleaning properties, which is important when we're talking about our skin. We want to be gentle with our skin though, right? I hear about people sometimes scrubbing their faces to get, every last drop of dirt off their face. I don't know if that's always the most efficient way for you to be treating your skin. I think you have to be a little bit gentle. You don't want to remove all the oils from your skin, even if you have oily skin. You want to really protect your skin and keep it just in a good homeostatic state. You can apply them, of course, essential oils directly to your skin. You can add them to your lotions and moisturizers. And of course, you can use our essential oil infused products like our Yarrow Palm that I just talked about. When we talk about topical application, you want to always think about skin sensitivity, whether you are an adult or a child, or you're applying oils on a child. You want to make sure that those oils are going to feel comfortable on the skin. If they're feeling uncomfortable, then you're really either applying too much or you're applying something that's too strong for the person with whom you are working. Oops, just want to shut. There we go. If you're using the because essential oils tend to be drying. So they're going to remove, as they remember, the essential oils are volatile compounds. So as they evaporate, they can remove moisture from the skin. We don't want to remove any moisture from our skin if we can help it. We're always using about 1 to 2 drops to start. And obviously areas to avoid include the eyes and the ears and any sort of damaged membranes. If you're finding that you're applying essential oils and the condition does not seem to be getting better, if anything, maybe it's getting a little bit worse, I would actually suspend application temporarily, maybe just moisturize the area, moisturize the areas around it, and then absolutely, if you haven't already, get a diagnosis from a doctor. Right? We're not doctors. I don't pretend to be a doctor, but I think it's important that we get a diagnosis to find out what is it that's going on with me, and then maybe you can proceed from there. So some of the essential oils, as we already know, that have fractionated coconut oil in them. All of our roll-ons or our touch series, excellent for applying on the skin, absolutely wonderful. I use my roll-ons, my pre-mixed roll-ons all the time. I know many of you actually have roll-ons that you use that you've made yourself. Both are equally good. The only difference is every time I use a pre-measured, pre-made roll-on from doTERRA, I know that all the molecular weights have been balanced. Doesn't mean that I never use a roll-on of any other sort or one that I've made myself, but just consider using the pre-mixed roll-ons if you possibly can. Okay, skin imperfections. Number 1 on the hit parade, tea tree. But other oils like lavender or frankincense, also grapefruit, patchouli, helichrysum, sandalwood, and rose are some of our top essential oils for skin imperfections. I'm going to talk a little bit about rose specifically, one of our most expensive oils, but it is available in 2 different formulations. It's available with fractionated coconut oil in a roll-on or just pure rose oil. Rose is one of those things that you can invest in and feel like, you know what, this is something that I'm making an investment in myself and in my skin. And rose has been used throughout history for skin and for skin imperfections. We're talking about anti-aging. Number 1 on my hit parade is always Immortelle. I love using Immortelle on my face. I've even used it on my hands. It does not contain fractionated coconut oil, ladies and gentlemen. So you want to make sure that you're using it with a moisturizer. It can be extremely drying if you're not using it with another fatty substance, whether that's a cream or it's an oil or whatever it is that you were using. Also, don't get crazy. I know some people will start using Immortelle and they'll start smearing it all over their face, and then they'll tell me, oh, well, it was too strong for me. Yes, it might be too strong. I would actually say a large quantity would probably be too strong for just about anybody. I would start by just putting a little bit on my fingertips and then maybe dotting it around, maybe concentrating on areas that really need anti-aging. I know everybody's always concerned about their forehead. Maybe you're concerned about the skin on your cheeks, or making sure that the pores look better on your skin. Use small amounts. It does have some very powerful oils in it, including frankincense and sandalwood, but using too much is really just, we always say less is more, right? So start small, add it perhaps into your moisturizer, and then just keep going. Okay, other oils when you're talking about a smooth complexion, and this is removing imperfections, maybe have some sort of bumps or discoloration, but you want to just smooth out your complexion. Everything from coriander through jasmine. And you can see this list is maybe not complete, but many of you I know have used some of these essential oils, and I'm actually going to ask in the chat. I can't see my chat right now too well. I don't know why. Tell me, what have you used to smooth your complexion? I have definitely used sandalwood. I've used geranium. I use helichrysum quite a bit, and I've used blue tansy. I don't use rose as much on my skin as much as I probably should. I use it more on, not my face, I'm sorry, the skin of my face, but I have used it on the skin of maybe my hands where I've had a burn and I want to be able to refresh and renew that skin. So we're talking about skin. We're not just talking about the face. We're talking about the entire body organ. purifying blemishes perhaps, or they are troubled by different sorts of breakouts, usually on the face, but could be on other parts of the body, maybe the back or the chest. And you can feel free to use these products on those areas as well. Things like tea tree or grapefruit, juniper berry. I like bergamot. Really, any of the citrus oils are wonderful, but always remember your citrus oils are photosensitive. What does that mean? It means if you go out into bright sunlight and the skin is exposed, you may wind up with some discoloration of the skin because you're basically going to be making your skin more prone to burning, which is something you don't want. So you're using these essential oils like your grapefruit or maybe your bergamot in areas that are not are going to be covered by clothing, right? You want to use them in areas that are going to be covered. Your other oils, maybe your Douglas fir or your tea tree should be fine. Again, I would always mix your essential oils and I would start with very small amounts. Let's talk about some of our skin care products. These are pre-mixed. Most of you know about VERAGE by now. I don't know if you're using VERAGE or you've ever used VERAGE. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, we gave away a full VERAGE kit, which was a lot of fun. I actually should give away another one. We have 4 different products: the cleanser, the toner, the moisturizer, and the hydrating serum. They all work really well together. If you love one of the products and you don't love one of the other ones, you can also buy the individual. It is a great system altogether. I use VERAGE more frequently in the summer than in the winter because for me, skin, I feel like I need something a little bit stronger, and VERAGE is just not quite as moisturizing for me in the really dry months. So if you're living in a place that does have cold weather, you may feel like you want to alternate. If you're living in a place that has a lot of hot weather, you may feel like, you know what, this is something I just want to change up. I want to change up my skin routine. We've also got our HD Clear line. Many of you have started using this and maybe gone on to other things, or you've still used the foaming. I have to say, I love foaming face wash just because I love foaming. I'm not a, cream person who removes their makeup at night and cleans their face with cream. I just love that kind of scrubby action. But this is a wonderful way for you. I've even been known to use my On Guard soap on my face. I know it's a little dry, but it really does remove everything from your face. It takes off all the makeup and your face is clean. Okay, let's keep going. This is our essential skincare line, and I have to say, this is the one for me that really works the best. Everything from our hydrating cream to our brightening gel. These are the products that I go back to again and again and again. And so right now I'm using the hydrating cream, I'm using the tightening serum, and I'm also using sometimes I use the invigorating scrub, but I use it from time to time. And then I like to alternate between the brightening gel and the anti-aging eye cream. I don't use all products. For me, it's a lot. I don't know, maybe you will, maybe you're a product person, but in general, the formulations are excellent. The products smell really wonderful. What's interesting is they all have slightly different smells because they include different essential oils. It's not like you open every jar and everything smells the same. And I like that actually about these. My mom, who's 90, about to be 91 in a month and a half, uses the hydrating cream and the tightening serum. And I think now she's using the anti-aging moisturizer as well. She really loves the products. It's cute because when she finishes, she brings me the empty jar and says, okay, I need another one. But she's been using those for years and really likes them. And my mother is all about skin. And I don't know if you probably haven't seen a picture of my mother recently. Maybe in the next few weeks, I'll have to include one. Her skin really looks amazing. I mean, everyone says it. They're always amazed to hear her age because her skin is really kind of her crowning glory. Okay, spa line, also one of my absolute favorites. I've used all the products from time to time. My three hands down favorite are the body wash, the body butter, and the lip balm. They are my go-tos. I use them all the time. I always have the body wash in my shower. In fact, I have it in now, I think, all the showers in my house. I really love it. smells really not, you only need a little bit. And so I don't know, sometimes they've got these big, before doTERRA, these giant bottles of body wash. They seemed like they were a really good deal because you'd be saying, oh, look, a whole liter of body wash for this price, but they tend to get goopy, and I don't know, I don't want anything hanging around that long in my shower. I just love the body wash. I use some sort of a scrubby or maybe a washing cloth, put a small amount, like a small coin, on my washing cloth, and really does lather up so well. It's a wonderful product. Body butter for me is amazing. I think I would use it year round if it didn't start getting really hot in New Jersey. Use it from my neck to my toes every time I take a shower or a bath, and I just love it. Oops, I lost my, what happened here? I lost my, hold on for a second. I don't know what happened there. I lost my slides. Okay, maybe that's an indicator that I'm not supposed to have slides right now. I think we got through just about everything. I want to talk to you now about business, and this is why I think this is important. We've got a couple of things on the hit parade. Number one is, if you're in the US market, I know many of you are going through Diamond Club. And in fact, I'm sponsoring, I think it's 4 people or maybe even 5 that are going through Diamond Club in the US and in Singapore during this go round. Congratulations to anyone who's going through Diamond Club. Just an amazing program. If you haven't done it before, you really want to consider it. It is a commitment. It is not something that you're going to say, oh, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and just love doing this. But it is a way of stretching yourself. Okay, so let's talk about stretching ourselves. Actually, I'm seeing a lot of comments about the face products. So let's talk about face products for one more second, and then I'm going to go on back onto Diamond Club. Oh, you didn't see my slides, did you? Okay, maybe, I don't know. All right, you've got, people are talking about the mud mask, the Yarrow Palm, the Immortelle, and frankincense. The products that you're using, Swanby says she uses the Yarrow Palm, the rose, Rolly, blue tansy, and jasmine. Doreen says she uses frankincense, copaiba, geranium, and Immortelle. Danielle says she uses Immortelle. It's fabulous. Doreen says she takes Yarrow Palm internally. Good for you. That's great, Doreen. Let me know how long you've been doing that. Yenling says Immortelle, Yarrow Palm, and geranium. Joyce Lynn says nice. Okay, love it. And Doreen again says, I use VERAGE kit every day, loves the smell. Megan says she uses the series essentials, especially the eye serum. And Swanby again says hydrating cream. Yeah, hydrating cream. There's something about that product. It is just so good. It really works so well. I've been using it, I want to say, probably since I first started in doTERRA. I just love, love, love that product. So here's an interesting thing. When we talk about the face products, it's sometimes not the first thing that we introduce to people. But if someone compliments you on your skin or says, hey, you look wonderful today, you can feel free to say to them, this is the hydrating cream that I use, or this is the product that I use, because I think that's a wonderful way for you to be able to introduce the products to people. I'm trying to get the light right. I don't know if I'm getting it exactly right, folks. I feel like I'm kind of in the sun with maybe one eye closed. I'm doing the best I can here. I'm a little bit up in the sky, as you can see. Actually, I'm going to pick this up so you can see where I am. Oh, you can see out the window. There's downtown Dallas. And you can see we're all the way up here, up in the sky. And then if you come around, you can see quite a lot. I don't know if that's the best view, but we're getting a little bit of, whoops. The sun is really coming up. It's really up high in the sky now. I think I may move over here because it's a little less bright. There we go. Whew. I had my right eye directly on, and that was a little bit much. Okay, here I am. Let's talk about business now, because I think that's an important thing as you go through Diamond Club, or you're going through some of these concentrated efforts with your teams. I think over the next 60 days, 120 days, you're going to be making intense efforts to learn to teach classes. Now, you may be feeling at this moment, teach classes. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to do that. live, I challenge you to take on. There's a couple of reasons why we want to take on those challenges. Whoops, hold on. This has been like a very creative chat here. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, and a little bit more comfortable. We want to take on these challenges because these are the pushes that grow our team. When we talk about growing our team, growing teams, I've never known someone who didn't do some sort of an intense effort. So usually an intense effort means scheduling classes on a regular basis, whether that's going from 1 class a week to 2 classes a week, or even just getting to 1 class a week. Now, you may find that sometimes people don't show up. You may find that you're expecting a big group and you get a little group, but practice makes perfect. And also consistency is what builds our teams. Now, I know when I first started in doTERRA, I made an intense effort for a long period of time. I did at that time, I know this sounds crazy, but when I first started, Diamond Club did not exist. Yes, it was something that was introduced later on after I was there, I guess about a year, but I did an intense effort to build my team. If you haven't done an intense effort or you're thinking about building your team now, that's really what it's going to take. You're going to have to plot it out and you're going to have to learn new skills. Now, apropos of new skills, when I started this presentation, I talked to you a little bit about the Diamond Retreat that was held in Nashville, Tennessee in the United States last week. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time, which will be 9 a.m. Singapore time tomorrow for all of you who are on here today. We're going to be talking about everything that happened at that Diamond Retreat. So if you're not a Diamond yet, but you're interested in becoming one, or maybe you're a Diamond and you just want to improve your skills, or you want to be able to teach others how to be a Diamond, I would absolutely recommend getting on our presentation tonight. I'm going to be posting it in the chats. I don't have my chat available here. As you know, I'm kind of like all over the place today with talking to you. I am very glad though that we were able to get together. I was thinking, should I cancel? Should I be on? Should I not be on? But it's a beautiful day in Dallas, Texas, and I wanted to be able to talk to all of you. Let's talk a little bit about something that your leaders are doing. So now I know that your leaders are encouraging you to set up classes and to really begin to sign up to make a commitment to do this 120, what I'm going to call a 120-day push. If you're working with a leader and you feel that you have questions or you're unsure what to do, or you're feeling a little bit, uncertain, make sure you're going back to your leader and talking to them about it, or talk to someone who can provide additional support to you. So leaders, now I'm talking to you. I am so proud of you that you are doing this 120-day push. It's a wonderful way to really make traction with your team, help your teams and encourage them. It also gives them a finite deadline. So 120 days, while it may seem like an enormous amount of time, is really just a drop in the bucket. How great would it be if 120 days from now, you could say, I grew my team by 10% or 20% or 25%. And depending upon the size of your team, if your team is small, you can make huge strides. You can maybe be able to build your team, increase the size of your team by 100%. If your team is large, the percentages are going to be smaller, but if each and every person on your team is working and growing and really getting out there, then you're all going to be able to work on this together. So here's the last thing, and this is about being on Zooms all the time. I know that you are completely zoomed out. I know that you are on Zooms all the time, every day, day after day, hour after hour, and you may just be feeling, I can't get on another one. I'm going to encourage you to keep going back to the ones that really matter to you. And I hope that this one really is part of that repertoire, and encouraging others to come back and listen to the things that we have to say here. Each and every week, I feel like even if we're repeating a topic, like today we're repeating skin, it's one of those things where you continue to learn because you get on the chat, you hear what other people are saying, we hear new information, or we hear it in a new way, or we become experienced enough that we ourselves are able to teach it. So if you're the type of person who really values good skin and feels, you know, I think that's something I could teach about. Now, I know there's also a lot of people who talk about their skin conditions like eczema and psoriasis, and what can you do for those? Because this is a Zoom call that gets published and put on YouTube. I don't always get on here and talk about it. Thank you, Teresa. If you look in the chat right now, you can see the information about tonight's chat. So if you're in the US, it's tonight at 8 p.m. If you are in Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, the Philippines, it will be tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for you. So 9 a.m. in Singapore, if you're getting on. I think it should be a wonderful discussion. Denise Schwendeman and Lorinda Walker will be talking about it. And the information is right now in the chat. Thank you so much for posting that, Teresa. I really appreciate it. When we talk about specific skin conditions, we can always be using our books. We can using our apps. Again, I talked to you about moisturizing, moisturizing, moisturizing. You may also talk about exfoliating part of those areas. They can be very dry, but you've got to be very careful because the areas can be very sensitive, extremely sensitive, in fact, and they can become easily inflamed. So you want to really soothe your skin. One of the products that I didn't get a chance to talk about was the Correct X, which is called, okay, help me out about everybody. What is Correct X called in Asia? I hope somebody will type it for me in the chat. When you really feel that you need something, Response X. Thank you, Megan. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Response X, wonderful product. Use it all the time. Use it for different reasons. And one of the reasons I like it is that it is a very greasy application, but that's terrific because it acts as a barrier so that whatever moisture is in the skin basically gets locked in. You don't want to have the moisture evaporating from your skin. So we don't want to over scrub our skin. We don't want to over cleanse our skin. We don't want to over apply essential oils to our skin. We want to especially treat our skin with moderation. I know sometimes it's tempting to say, I'm going to take this and that and the other thing to be able to solve a different problem that I have with my skin. I'm actually going to show you my little travel pouch here. And you can see what I have in here. I think almost everything is in here. So this is what I'm traveling with when I'm in, oops, a little hard to see there. I've got everything here from Digestion to Balance. I've got my grapefruit, my tea tree. I've got On Guard and peppermint beadlets, Cedar Wood, Forgive, Breathe. And on the other table, I know I have frankincense and Serenity. So I talked a little bit about my eye, and I've been applying around my eye. So I'm going to show you just really a small amount, a single drop, if you will. Sometimes I've actually been applying it, just touching the top of the bottle and going like this, which I don't often do. But with the eye, I want to make sure that the essential oils are not dripping, and I'm applying the essential oils around the eye like this, just to support the eye. And you can see it's a little moist, a little damp, but definitely not dripping. And I know because I'm kind of blocking the sun and not blocking the sun. So that's how I'd be applying if I was working for an eye condition. If I was trying to just apply something for general moisturizing, again, I might just do that touch method like that, and then kind of quickly apply the essential oil, dotting it around my face, and then smoothing it gently in. So this is the oil that I have here is Cedar Wood. Can be a little bit drying. It is also good for strengthening the skin. And even with that, just that partial drop, it really worked to kind of moisturize the skin and really works on a cellular level, right? Because essential oils do not provide moisture. I want you to remember that. They really don't. So if you're going to be applying essential oils to your skin, you must apply moisture on top so that you don't begin to feel a drying. Interesting. I just applied the Cedar Wood, and already I feel like, I don't know, a brightening or an awakening in my skin. I hope that this was a presentation that you found helpful. I'm going to be let's give away today. You know what? Let's give away 2 Yarrow palms. I don't know if you can hear that. 2 Yarrow palms, and I'm going to be sending these. Okay, so these 2 Yarrow palms are not in Singapore yet. Okay, the 2 Yarrow palms are not in Singapore yet. I have to send them this week, or I'm going to send them when I get back. But I will send 2 Yarrow palms. Let's see who are going to be our 2 winners today. Also, tell me in the chat, do you have any questions? Was this worthwhile to you? Are you participating in Diamond Club? Give me a little bit of information about what's going on, because I'd love to really hear. Our 2, okay, our 2 winners today are, oops. I'm actually typing them in the chat. I guess we got all the way to the end. I'm announcing the winners right on the live, but that's okay. Sometimes we have to do something a little bit different. I want to encourage you, if you're not already subscribed, click the button below and subscribe, and then ring the bell for notifications as you're listening to this later on. If you're going to be on next week, I don't know where I'm going to be next week. I think I'm going to be back in New Jersey. I'm going to be announcing the topic for our presentation next week. Please follow on Instagram. We've been doing a lot of interesting things, new sorts of things on Instagram. So I want you to be, I want you to be part of that whole effort. There we go. Okay. We've, great, I think that worked. Okay, so our 2 winners today of Yarrow Palm. 2 winners of Yarrow Palm are Shireen Yo and Patricia Tay. And I don't know if you can see that in the chat. Shireen Yo and Patricia Tay, you are the winners of the Yarrow Palm. Again, those 2 prizes are not in Singapore yet. Just wanted you to know that. So you're going to have to hold on. I'm going to be sending them when I get back to New Jersey. I'm going to be sending out a box, and then you'll be able to pick up your prizes. Thank you so much to everyone who was here. Thank you for being tolerant about the light and the switching and maybe the inconsistent voice from time to time because of my internet connection. I really appreciate that everybody was here today. Thank you for bringing in all the groups. And for those of you who are working on Diamond Club or the 120-day push, get on the call tonight. I think you're really going to get something out of it, especially if you weren't able to get in and see everything. It was, as always, our doTERRA presentations are amazing. And the next one, I'm expecting you to be there too. Have a wonderful week, everyone. You are a great, great group. And I'll see you all back here again next Monday. Bye-bye now.